Have you ever wondered if the path you're on, maybe your successes or even those really deep-seated challenges, are part of some larger, unseen story? Today we're doing a profound deep dive into a truly captivating case study. It's a multi-generational narrative, and it really lays bare how past lives can, well, profoundly shape our present realities. We're talking everything from monumental achievements to life's most unexpected turns. We're peeling back the layers on the journey of someone we'll call the doctor and his family. Our exploration is going to trace these intricate karmic threads, the ones that wove his grandfather's incredible rise, his mother's current health struggles, the doctor's own extraordinary academic success, and also this powerful shared spiritual destiny that connects him and his brothers. So our mission today is really to extract the universal wisdom from this incredible story. We want to help you understand the subtle, yet, immensely powerful influence of karma on life's biggest choices, and maybe, just maybe, illuminate some aspects of your own personal journey too. All right, let's unpack this fascinating story. We begin with the doctor's grandfather. Now, here's a figure whose early life just embodies immense resilience, but also real hardship. Picture this, just a 15-year-old boy leaving mainland China with absolutely nothing. Not even a mat or a pillow. He arrives in a small Chinese community in southern Thailand, and with literally zero possessions, he starts as a Jap Kang. That's a term for a manual laborer. Think really backbreaking work day in, day out. Yet, through sheer hard work, grit, and just incredible perseverance, he didn't just survive, he actually thrived. He saved enough to buy property, opened a tea shop, and his business just took off. It absolutely flourished. He became the wealthiest man in his entire community, acquiring the largest land holdings, the biggest buildings. He even had this unique large well right in the center of his home, a real symbol of prosperity back then. He quickly became the undisputed leader of the Chinese community. People knew him for his strong leadership, his unwavering loyalty, and importantly, his steadfast fairness. Yet, despite achieving all this extraordinary success, accumulating everything he ever worked for, his story takes this really poignant and unexpected turn. He never really got to enjoy it. He tragically passed away. Suddenly, heart failure. At just 54 years old, he left behind this huge legacy he barely had any time to savor.
That contrast is really striking, isn't it? Between that immense worldly success and then this inability to fully enjoy it. When we look at the deeper karmic patterns, the ones at play here, it reveals some really crucial insights. See, in a past life, the grandfather didn't fully grasp or perhaps fully believe in the profound cycle of reincarnation. Now, he did practice charity, which is commendable, of course, but he primarily limited his generosity. He mostly helped only his close relatives, thinking, maybe that was sufficient merit-making.
Right.
This kind of limited scope of building positive karma, well, it meant that in this current life, he faced significant hardship early on. Prosperity only really arrived later in his life, when he was older. It reflects that narrower pattern of generosity from before.
Ah, I see. So the timing was affected.
Exactly. And furthermore, his early death at 54, well, that was attributed to what's known as panadibat, the karma of taking life. Specifically, this seems to point to actions like, say, raising animals for food or for sale, maybe in a past agricultural society where such practices were common, but still carried, karmic consequence. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How do our specific beliefs about future lives and maybe the breadth of our compassion, how do they subtly influence not just our success, but the very timing and duration of our enjoyment in this life?
That's a deep question.
And as for his current state, the understanding is he didn't linger in any transitional realm. He was swiftly reborn as a human into a middle-class family. That's a result of his overall good deeds, even if their scope was a bit limited. So no specific messages from him for the present family.
Okay. That's still a powerful point for us to reflect on, though. It really drives home how our past actions, even things that might seem like sufficient or good enough acts of generosity, can shape not just whether we succeed, but the actual timing and duration of our ability to enjoy it. It definitely challenges us to maybe broaden our understanding of compassion and its ripple effects. Okay, moving now to the next generation. Let's look at the doctor's mother. She was known for her beauty and her diligence, apparently highly sought after by many men when she was younger. She ultimately chose the doctor's father. Why? For his maturity, his warmth, and his steadfast stability. Together they built a family, had 3 sons. Now, currently, the mother is bravely facing a difficult health challenge, uterine cancer, and also lung tumors. It's a situation that, naturally raises questions about life's complexities.
Indeed it does. And the question of underlying karma, well, it naturally arises here. When we connect her current condition to these deeper patterns, we see it linked to a relatively faint chachu karma. That's a form of, let's say, flirtatious or perhaps adulterous conduct from a past life. Now, this isn't about judgment, of course. It's about understanding the subtle energetic imprints that actions can leave behind.
Okay. Relatively faint, you said.
Yes, relatively faint. Additionally, her health is connected to the karma of taking lives, specifically for preparing food, and also maybe overworking animals in a past agricultural society. What's particularly fascinating here, I think, is how these latent karmic energies seem to have been activated in her current life. Her involvement in the food business, often being exposed to heat and smoke, likely created the conditions for these past actions to manifest as these specific health issues.
Ah, like an activation trigger.
Precisely. The good news, however, is that these karmic effects are described as fading. That means they are not severe or, insurmountable. To overcome these challenges and truly heal, she needs to consistently practice specific spiritual disciplines. Things like giving generously, observing moral precepts. Those are ethical guidelines for right living, meditating regularly, exercising, and crucially, maintaining a clear and positive mind. Ideally, the guidance suggests she would deepen her practice until she attains Dhammakaya, which in this tradition signifies a profound inner realization, enlightenment, true liberation.
That insight really reminds us that karma isn't always some absolute unchangeable sentence, is it?
Not at all.
There are powerful spiritual practices that can actively mitigate its effects, even transform one's experience. It's really a profound message of hope and agency, too. It highlights how intentional engagement with these spiritual disciplines can actually shift and reshape one's path. Okay, now let's turn our attention to the doctor himself, the eldest son. And he sounds like a truly extraordinary individual. From his earliest days, kindergarten even, he was a voracious reader, just devouring books and consistently excelling in academics. Won countless awards, represented his school in competition after competition. Apparently his home walls literally ran out of space for all his certificates.
Wow, quite the achiever from day one.
Absolutely. His academic prowess led him to secure a really prestigious government scholarship, the POSWTT, for science and technology. That granted him direct entry into university. During his university years, he wasn't just studying, though. He was incredibly active. Joined the Buddhist club, local development volunteer groups, even the bio club. Clearly driven by both intellectual curiosity and a deep sense of service. It was at Wat Phra Dhammakaya, which is a major Buddhist temple and spiritual center, that he found these profound answers. To life's biggest questions like, why are we born? What is life's ultimate purpose? He learned a comprehensive path to happiness and success, covering both the worldly and the spiritual realms. This newfound understanding led him to undertake intensive spiritual cultivation Dhammataya training and to regularly travel. Get this, over 30 hours round trip.
30 hours. Regularly.
Regularly, never missing a Bucha Kaufra ceremony that's a monthly assembly for meditation and merit-making at the main temple. And what's truly remarkable, really remarkable, is that despite all these extensive activities, the demanding studies, those long spiritual journeys, he maintained a perfect 4.0 GPA, graduated with first-class honors, a gold medal, ranked first in his entire faculty.
Incredible balance, isn't it?
He also received a National Outstanding Student Award, an honor given to only 4 students from the entire country each year. His academic brilliance just kept opening doors. He gained direct acceptance into a PhD program at the prestigious 500-year-old University of Edinburgh in Scotland.
Edinburgh, wow.
And get this, completely bypassing a master's degree.
Straight to PhD,
Yeah,
impressive.
right. He even received a rare international scholarship from the UK government and was mentored by 2 world-renowned professors in botany and taxonomy. His PhD thesis was apparently so exceptional it could have easily been 2 separate papers. It was lauded for its quality, its eloquent writing, and it continues to be cited in global journals even today. And even while studying so far away in Scotland, he remained deeply committed to his spiritual practice, often waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. Scotland time to participate virtually in the Bucha Kaufra ceremonies back in Thailand.
That's dedication.
Truly. After completing his PhD, he returned to Thailand and, at just 25 years old, became a university lecturer at Wallalock University. He was so young that students often mistook him for just another student.
I can imagine.
Now at 30, he continues to publish world-class research, holds many influential positions, chairing academic Olympic projects, training science teachers. But what he says is truly remarkable. What he's most proud of is being the advisor for the university's Buddhist club.
That's telling.
It really is. He even received an Outstanding Performer Award, which is usually reserved for much more senior professors. But maybe the most telling thing, the doctor shared this really profound personal realization, something that puts all his academic achievements into perspective. He expressed that all his academic knowledge, even from these world-renowned professors, could not compare to even a speck of dust of the truth of life he received from Kunkru Maye. That refers to his primary spiritual teacher at Anubanfan Naifan Witaya. That's a spiritual institution, an education program focusing on teaching these universal truths that transcend lifetimes. He proudly considers himself an Anuban, which means kindergarten student, of this spiritual institution. He values this spiritual education even above his prestigious academic titles.
So the big question then is, what's the karmic blueprint for such an extraordinary life? This blend of exceptional intellectual achievement and profound spiritual insight. When we look at the deeper patterns behind the doctor's journey, his success really stems from past lives, lives where he passionately pursued knowledge, diligently sought out wise scholars, and accumulated vast merit in something called Panya Bharami.
Panya Bharami.
Yes, which translates roughly to the perfection of wisdom, achieved through dedicated education and the pursuit of knowledge. This profound accumulation of merit made him exceptionally intelligent and wise in this life. It enabled him to perfectly balance those rigorous studies, the extensive activities, and his deep spiritual practice.
Makes sense.
We also see that he previously provided significant educational support, scholarships to others, and as a teacher and even a royal scholar in a past life, he freely shared his knowledge without reservation. That's what's called Watayathan, or the gift of knowledge. He truly embodied that principle, giving the gift of wisdom generously.
Watayathan. I like that.
So, for anyone listening, anyone seeking to cultivate such qualities in their own lives, the recommendation is pretty clear. Continue on this path. Share your knowledge freely, without attachment to recognition or reward, and enthusiastically support and promote education for others. This kind of selfless giving of knowledge, while it lays a powerful karmic foundation.
That really is an aha moment, isn't it? Seeing how that dedicated intellectual pursuit, coupled with consistent spiritual practice and this generous spirit of sharing wisdom, how it can manifest such an extraordinary life. It's a real testament to the enduring power of these virtues. It shows us that true success is multifaceted, weaving together worldly achievement and, real spiritual depth. Now, the doctor isn't alone in his spiritual dedication, which is also fascinating. Both of his younger brothers have also profoundly embraced the spiritual path. The youngest brother is currently serving at an overseas branch of Watfra Dhammakaya, and the middle brother is an Upatakra Ajarn.
The monastic attendant.
Exactly, a monastic attendant at the main temple. And the doctor had some really thoughtful questions for us about his brothers. It's intriguing, right? What karmic threads could connect three siblings so deeply to this path, but also lead them to such distinct roles? He also wondered about the benefits of attending monks, and maybe more personally, why, despite their deep love for each other, they don't actually communicate that much, even though there's no anger between them.
Right, that lack of frequent contact despite affection.
Yeah, and of course the practical question, how can they help their parents understand this chosen path?
Those are excellent questions. And they lead us to some truly profound insights into their past connections. What's fascinating here is that the three siblings, the doctor and his two brothers, they weren't actually siblings in a past life.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Instead, when we look at the deeper karmic tapestry, they were sathamic, meaning fellow practitioners, fellow monks, during a previous Buddha Adorn. That's an era of the Buddha, a time when the teachings of enlightenment were widely available. In that past era, there was a king who renounced the world to become a monk. The doctor, who was then a royal scholar, followed his example. He ordained for life and achieved Dhammakaya.
Wow.
The middle brother, well, he came from a small nearby kingdom. He was inspired by the very same teacher he now attends as an attendant, who, in that past life, was also weary of worldly competition and sought spiritual refuge.
So that connection goes way back.
Deeply. And the youngest brother was a nobleman's son from the king's own kingdom who also ordained. They were apparently very close as junior monks, or Nawaka, early in their spiritual journey. However, they later separated to go out and spread the Dharma, the Buddha's teachings, and all three remained monks for life. As the teaching sometimes goes, they came to do the work, not to marry, and effectively married the work of spreading the Dharma.
Married the work.
Exactly. This is why their bonds are fundamentally spiritual, rather than just familial in origin this time around. So in this current life, their perceived lack of frequent communication, It isn't due to any negative karma or animosity at all. It's simply because they each pursued separate studies, and now they have distinct, demanding responsibilities. Each one is deeply committed to their respective work on the spiritual path. Their connection, you could say, runs deeper than daily phone calls.
That's a beautiful revelation, really. It highlights the enduring nature of these spiritual bonds. It shows how connections can transcend conventional family ties, even lifetimes, and how our chosen paths, even if they lead us in seemingly separate directions, can still be deeply connected by a shared, profound purpose. It's like a powerful illustration of destiny unfolding. Okay, finally, we arrive at this poignant dilemma. It's right at the heart of the doctor's current life. His parents, while they're starting to understand his spiritual path, they still have very natural, very worldly concerns. Specifically, they hope their eldest son, the doctor, will marry and, settle down, as many parents hope.
Understandably.
Yeah. So the doctor wonders, should he fulfill their wish? Does he have enough merit, enough spiritual capital to achieve his own deepest desire, which is to ordain for life? And practically, how could they, as three monks, actually care for their parents?
This brings up an important point. Why did the parents struggle to fully understand or embrace this path? Well, when we look at their karmic history, it shows they built merit with the Sangha, the monastic community, but inconsistently. Sometimes they encountered the Dharma teachings and practiced, sometimes they didn't. So in this life, their primary concern is still quite rooted in worldly matters. They naturally desire their son to have a conventional family life, which is, a common parental aspiration.
Right, very common.
The solution here really is patience and consistent, gentle action. The children, the doctor and his brothers, must continue to explain the path with love and regularity. Gently invite their parents to practice the Dharma alongside them. The insight is that they are already beginning to understand. This gradual approach, it will bear fruit eventually.
Patience and persistence.
Exactly. Now, regarding the doctor's own profound life choice, remember that past life we discussed?
Yeah.
Where he ordained for life with the renunciant king and achieved excellent Dharma practice, even attained Dhammakaya.
Yes.
That spiritual trajectory, that profound commitment, that is his original good pattern. It's like a karmic blueprint for deep spiritual achievement, cultivated over lifetimes of renunciation. Marriage in this life, however, well, that would be a significant deviation from that original pattern. From a rigorous spiritual perspective, entering lay life, with all its associated responsibilities and attachments, while commendable in itself, let's be clear, it creates distractions. Distractions that could slow or even halt his advanced progress towards enlightenment. It would essentially shift him from being, let's say, in the inner circle of direct spiritual cultivation to becoming more of a support provider or supply corps in the lay community. Now, it's not that one path is inherently better than the other, but it's about aligning with one's highest spiritual potential for this specific individual.
For him specifically.
Yes. That lay path would inevitably introduce many new worries and concerns that could pull him away from his deepest calling. So, the guidance here is quite clear. Strengthen that original good pattern of lifelong ordination. Don't abandon that profound spiritual path for a new pattern, like marriage, which, from this particular spiritual perspective, is considered a lower state or condition for his specific spiritual progress. It brings to mind an analogy sometimes used for deep dedication. Quote, marry your work, not a person.
Right.
The idea being, just as maybe a dedicated scientist might marry their research in bacteria, a spiritual practitioner might commit so fully that other demands, like those of a conventional marriage, could potentially distract from their primary spiritual pursuit.
Okay, I understand the analogy.
And as for the practical side, caring for the parents if all three sons become monks, the solution offered is quite practical and traditional. Through the daily alms round known as binbat, 3 people collecting alms can easily support 2 parents. In fact, the insight suggests it's more than enough. Their parents would be well provided for.
Okay, so the practical concern is addressed. That's a truly profound insight, though. It really lays bare that tension between, societal and familial expectation and a deeply felt spiritual calling. It highlights that true care and commitment can come in many forms, and that honoring one's deepest spiritual truth, well, it can sometimes mean making choices that defy those conventional expectations. It really challenges us to think about what settling down truly means, not just for the doctor, but maybe for ourselves too. So wrapping this up, what does this multi-generational deep dive into the doctor's story mean for you? We've seen this intricate weaving tapestry of karma, haven't we? From the grandfather's delayed enjoyment of his hard-won success, to the mother's health challenges, and the doctor's just astounding academic and spiritual journey, every single detail is like a thread in a story woven across lifetimes. It's not just a series of events, is it? It's a profound illustration of cause and effect spanning generations.
Absolutely. And this journey through the doctor's family, it raises a really important question for each of us listening. What pattern are you consciously or maybe unconsciously strengthening in your life right now? Are your daily choices building a legacy primarily of worldly success? Are they deepening your spiritual progress? Or perhaps forging a unique blend of both? And more deeply, how do you discern your own original good pattern, that unique spiritual blueprint, if you will, and commit to it, even when you're faced with external expectations or, conventional pressures?
Yeah, that's the challenge. This story isn't just about one family somewhere else. It really is like a mirror. It reflects the choices we all make, conscious or unconscious, and their ripple effects through time. It leaves us with a powerful thought, I think. Our lives aren't just a single isolated story. They're an ongoing saga, shaped by countless past actions and continuously propelled by our present choices. So as you consider these profound truths, the question becomes, what will you choose to write in your next chapter, aligning with your deepest purpose?